Greetings, teachers. This video is about learning targets and performance goals. And remember, when we're doing this work, we're following the Wiggins and McTighe backwards design. So it's already assumed that you have an assessment ready to go for the summative assessment. You know exactly where you're going. You've also shared that assessment with the students and actually given a pre-test. But we'll hold that for a minute. Let's get right into learning targets. So, for your learning targets, whether they're unit or lesson, they have to be about what the students are learning. The most common mistake is putting into the learning targets what they're going to do. Students will know how to create. Students will know how to demonstrate. We don't want that in there. We want what will they learn. They will learn what causes conflict. They will learn the key elements of a narrative. They will learn the properties of solving inequalities. So it has to focus on the learning. That's key. Now, the unit performance that you will have already created, right? Because we're doing backwards design, that's the detailed one. Okay, the unit performance has to be then what they're going to do. So what they're going to do has to be, first of all, clearly explain. They're going to do, they're going to create, they're going to write, they're going to perform, they're going to demonstrate through PowerPoint, whatever it may be. It has to be about what they're going to do. But let's talk about the most important element right now for an urban classroom. It has to be transformative. You have to explain to the students and to me how this work is directly related to their lives, cultures, lived experiences. It has to be. That is required. The explanation is required. Please don't assume that, well, isn't it obvious? You read this, you get it. The next things we have to be concerned about for sure in the unit performance are the details of what they're going to do. Within those details, we're talking about making sure you're telling the work is based on a rubric or a checklist. Now, you don't have to include that with it, but you have to let the students know and me know that you're thinking about this, that it is or will be created. You also have to tell the students what you expect them to score. And please, you want all students to be advanced. You want all students to score 100%. You want all students to meet the standards. That is critical. And what materials are you going to supply? How much time will they have? All of this has to be included in there so the students know from the beginning all of those requirements and what's coming. Keep in mind, when you're doing the unit work next semester, you are sharing with them immediately the post-test, the summative assessment. They get to look at it, they get to ask questions about it, they get to decide where they are regarding the learning. That's critical. Let's talk about the lessons now. The lesson learning target, same issue. What will they learn? Critical. Because the lesson performance goal is about what they will do. Now, you don't have to be as detailed in the lesson performance goal. Just tell what they will do. Many of you want to put everything that's going on in the lesson performance goal. Not only do I I am discouraging you from doing that. It is confusing to students. Students have to know what they're going to do to demonstrate at the end of the period that they acquired, understand, etc., the learning. It's critical. What will they do? So that's a quick overview of the opening of your lesson. One final thought on the lesson learning target and performance. Please, the knowledge to be acquired has to be able to be completed and students understanding in one lesson. It's critical. teachers often make the mistake of piling so many things into one lesson that the students walk out confused. This is why with some lessons I say break this down into 2 or 3 lessons. You want your students to totally understand the content and the learning targets. And if you pile a whole bunch of things into one lesson, the brain research is clear. It gets all jumbled in the brain, they get confused, and they can't perform well when you ask them what they learned.